Hello and welcome to Jimmy's Total Nerdy channel. Today we will be looking through the top builds of MachineCult. Now, I have seen many times that MachineCult has been on the top list of workshop files over at Garry's Mod Workshops, and MachineCult builds duplication files in a style I very much like. This is kind of rusty, kind of trash apocalypse style. So we will be taking a look at my top selection, my top best selection of the builds of MachineCult. And these are 8 builds that I think are very worth showing off. And we will be doing this on the map RP Apocalypse. There is a link in the description if you want to check out my review of RP Apocalypse, which also contains the download link. Alright, so before I continue here, I should mention that these are not advanced duplications, unfortunately. These are normal dupe files. They also contain no mods, which means that the builds are extremely laggy. So, well, this is something that I can say as a more advanced builder, and most people of the channels are more advanced builders. MachineCult's builds are not advanced. They are usually not functional as far as I've seen. I would more judge them as a piece of art, and you can see that very clearly with the extreme FPS problems we get. Now I spawned this too much in the outer limits, so we will spawn it again. Let's see here, a bit closer to the world. Okay, so these builds are extremely laggy and they usually don't function from what I've seen. Alright, so here we have a build. We have this was lighted up last time. I don't know, maybe there are too many lamps here. And excuse me for the FPS, this is the only build that likes this much. The other ones are better, so we'll begin with the first one. But this anyways is Junk Sky Station by MachineCult, and it's as you can see, it looks pretty cool. Oh, also I got some criticism that some people doubt my theory that Half-Life 2 is partly held in Sweden, and you know, here is this one. Here is one of my proofs when it happens to be here. It's a summa, that means sum. And there is kron as in kronor, as in the currency in Sweden. This is volym as in volume. And this is, well, that's liter, that's probably international word. But there is some Swedish word for it that supports my idea. Anyhow, let's take a little look at this. I don't want to make you suffer too much with this extremely bad FPS. But this is the Sky Station. Is basically a little station in the sky where you can go and refill petrol. Now this is kind of interesting. I think that it's a possibility that it's actually capped off a bit. Maybe we'll lack some part in the top. But anyways, we will be checking this. We can't look at this lag thing too long. There is a little nice places here and you can walk around on it, but of course there is no system barely that will not lag with this. So anyways, let's continue. Then we have some of the I don't know, not earlier, maybe early anyways, builds. This is the Junk Speeder, and this, as you can see, is a very cool build. It's a speeder And also this build use no add-ons, and that is a bad thing, however, because that means lots of lag, very much limitation, and not so fancy stuff. But the model is the main thing, and you can see it's a very nice shape, and it's really much a style that I also build and enjoy, so I really like this rusty thing. Anyways, we will be taking a little look here. I don't know if you get in from... if you do get in. Well, there is some interior anyways. Let's see here if it's written something. Arrow keys, you know, just some control. And there is even interior in it. As you can see, it looks pretty nice. We have a little cockpit area, we have some controls. Whoops, and you can fall off from it, but you can anyways walk around in it and sit into the chairs, control the stuff here, which is pretty cool. We also can move on like different floors, which is pretty amazing. So you can go up here, and of course the main control, which is here. So even though we can't really, it doesn't move for some reason. I found the controls, but we have some pretty nice effects. There is basically some kind of startup effect where it makes a bang the first time, which is pretty nice. Or sometimes I think it's a timed explosive effect thing. Pretty cool though. Nice airspeed. Then we have something called, well actually we'll go with Junk Airspeeder 2. So we have the same concept. We have an airspeeder thing. We have the same thing with kind of engine type. It kind of reminds of Last Exile somehow with this back part. It's a Japanese animation. And well, you can see the engines here. We have some nice interiors again. We have some machinery laying around. Of course, it's like welded and everything, so that's why it's everything lags. But anyhow, except the lag, the interior is pretty cool. It looks real nice. And of course the exterior. The Junk Airspeeder, the previous one, looks cooler, but still a nice ship. Alright, so what we have more? We have our steam engine. And it is as you would expect. Let's see here, did it have lights? No. And it moves the same way, but we have some interesting effects. And also smoke, and we have actual moving, what to say? Well, anyways, spin wheels and something like that for the movement, and it looks pretty nice. It turns very fast. Interesting. So I guess the interior is basically here. Ooh, that's a nice prop. I like that one. And here you can... Ooh, is this... No, of course it's not. It's just a prop. Oh well, anyways. It looks cool, and we even have some coal here. Nice. Here's block of coal. I thought it looked pretty cool. It's also very top rated. Then, never mind. We have more lag parts. Excuse the lag. Oh lord. Oh. Anyways, this is a huge vessel of cargo. Okay, this is actually worse. And it lags so much we really can't show it off, and I do have a pretty powerful laptop, so I mean I'd say it's good for screenshot, but it's also not the most interesting one, so we'll just skip that. Here we have something pretty nice. We have the Air City. See if we can find... I wanted a nice map with some... what to say? That looks pretty nice. From the instructions, I know the keys for the horribles. The sad thing is they don't work. We can only move down with the horribles, so that's a bit sad. But this is anyways Air City. And we have some actual buildings, which is pretty amazing. I think the design of this is really cool, this Air City. We actually seem to have a bit problem with the skybox, so we'll show off the bigger builds on another map. Yeah, so we're here at Buttes, and I will show you the air station again. As I suspected, we lacked some parts, and here you can see we now have a buoy floating in the air. It also has a light, but it's of course light here, so we can see it. And indeed, it is a bit higher, so we have another floor with a nice little living room thing there. And another floor with some cooking stuff as well. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, of course, it looks better when you have this very dark smog at our favorite maps. Well, anyways, this map is nice as well. So here you see the full of it. But anyways, it lags so much, so I will let you explore it yourself. Now we have the cargo ship, which I will spawn here. And here we can see the full of it. It's basically a big cargo ship, as I'm sure you already understood. But because the author builds without add-ons, it lags very much. If the author would choose to use parenting tool, then we could, remove the lag. But well, that's an individual build choice. Anyways, let's look at the Air City again, because this is a nice build. So we of course have the engine stuff. It's not moving, but we can... Oh god. That's an interesting turning device. Why is this spinning when we're turning? Anyways, I like these big propellers. These are pretty nice. And well, what more? If we go up here, we see we have some smoke going on there. It looks pretty nice. We have some elevator looking things in the middle, and a top bunched together stuff basically. But the lower part of the city airship is pretty nice with the houses here. I really like the house models being put there. So anyway, so let's move on to Ghost Airship, which is a pretty dark build. Would look better if we fed it... Oh god, no. If we fed it in a smaller environment. Okay, let's spawn it again. Yeah, so this is exactly the reason why it's a good idea to use parenting tool when you build, because if you have lots of props, it will lag very much if you don't use parenting tool. This is the Ghost ship, and maybe we can turn off the light. Yes, we can. Maybe we can have some more FPS then. But it reminds me of Black Pearl, but it's an airship, basically. There may be some interior, but we're basically watching a slideshow now, so it's, MachineCult makes works of art. They're like models. If I had this an advanced duplicator, I would spawn them without constraints. You know, I would spawn them without anything and not try to make them move, because they can't. This is I'd say this is kind of works of art more than like actual vehicles. Of course, you've seen me build more vehicles, but you know, that's what you need tutorials for. Designing is more of something you have to find yourself, or find inside of you, or so to say, creative designing power, so to say. Anyways, this is the last one I wanted to show from MachineCult, which is the Dreadnought airship. And it's a huge airship. We can just start the engine here and see if we can get some nice smoke effects, maybe, I don't know. But anyways, we have some pretty interesting like guns here, I think, which is nice. Not working though, but well, as I said, it's more of an art type of thing. This, I really have much stuff. It's pretty interesting actually. So anyways, let's see the effects. Okay, nothing there. We had some guns here, which is pretty nice, I think. Let's see here, somewhere, there we have them. So of course they're not real guns, because the vanilla Garry's mod doesn't have that, but they provide a nice little gun effect, kind of, which can be used in cinematic. So it's, I think it's well done, considering there are no weapons, you know. Well, anyways, as you can see, we have a nice little cockpit and some funny control things with the screens and everything. And well, I have to say, I really like the aesthetic design of the builds of MachineCult. It would be awesome, maybe if you are watching this MachineCult, it would be super cool if you took some of your top builds, you know, and built them together with proper parenting tool. And learn how to use that if you don't know how to, and then you could basically, now I select this whole thing, and well, we shouldn't use this anyway, so I can just parent it to, you usually parent to WireGate, but I just parent it to a thing now, and here you see I can now move the airship just like this, and the lag disappeared. Isn't this pretty cool? So this is why you parent stuff. Of course, it's now become unphysical, so you have to select the parts. But if you're watching this MachineCult, and if you don't know how to parent, then you can watch a tutorial of how to parent things that I made. You find it in the tutorial list of videos. But anyways, just to prove my point even more, let's spawn this one as well, and let's go to the parenting tool. There we have it. See, we have 7 FPS. Parented, we're back to 20. If you want more, let's spawn. Let's spawn this jump speeder here. And then we can go to the parenting tool. See the FPS went down. 155 props. And parented. So anyways, Now it will be pretty interesting. If I move this, we will move all builds. Like they're sitting together with that barrel now. Well, anyways, if you're watching this Machine Cult, I really recommend you to look into parenting tool, and you could make some things that do not use vanilla Garry's mod, because there is no reason to use vanilla Garry's mod when we have so many cool, awesome mods that make the game experience so much better. Well, anyways, I have to say that you made some pretty amazing builds. I think the models and builds of this is really cool. It's well done. And anyways, I have to also thank you very much for watching. I will be catching you in future episodes, and if you want to join the discussion at Discord and talk with some other Garry's Mod hardcore building people, then please go in and join. And also, if you choose to support the channel, there is the Patreon page, and you also get a nice shiny name in an interesting color depending on tier. So anyways, this is Jimmyism Total Nerdy channel. I hope you enjoyed this little art gallery of the Machine Cult legendary builds that are trending on the page. And you can see why, really nice builds. Anyways, I'll say this many times now, but see you next time. This is Jimmyism Total Nerdy channel, officially signing out.